All right. Ben Stein is going to join us momentarily, but I want you to watch this. This is from a special which aired this week. It's going to air again tomorrow night at 7 p.m. right here on Newsmax TV. Watch.
The Democratic Party of Mrs. Hillary Clinton is totally different from the Democratic Party of Bill Clinton. And you say what you want about Bill and his girlfriends. That was a pretty moderate Democratic Party, and he was a pretty good president. Not a great president, but a pretty good president. Didn't do much about the genocides in the former Yugoslavia or in Rwanda, but domestically he was a pretty good president. Mrs. Clinton is a very much more radical person. She's always been a more radical person, but she was pushed into that left corner there by Mr. Sanders, and she's still there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was a clip from Newsmax TV special Ben Stein Presents the Nixon Library. Now, the special originally aired earlier in the week, but it's re-airing 24 hours from tomorrow night, Saturday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. And I'm joined right now by Ben Stein, film actor and author, former speechwriter for Presidents Nixon and Ford, and star of that great documentary. Hello, sir.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. So congratulations. That was a wonderful piece that you did with Bill Tucker and the Nixon Library. It's fascinating, and everyone can watch it tomorrow at 7.
Well, I hope people will go to the library. It's in Yorba Linda. It's a short drive from Los Angeles. It's very, very close to Disneyland, and it's a lot more amusing than Disneyland.
Well, you say something very interesting, and I think we both talked about this in the past, and that, basically, this isn't the Democratic Party. I mean, Bill Clinton has apologized now, Ben, for everything that he's accomplished, whether it was the crime bill, welfare reform, Don't Ask, Don't Tell, Defense of Marriage Act. He's apologized for it all because he has to fit, or his wife has to fit, into today's radical leftist party.
Right. The Democratic Party has been pushed farther and farther left. Why, I don't know. What good it does them or anyone else, I do not know. It's certainly not good for the country. It's certainly not good for the world. I blame Mr. Sanders, Senator Sanders, and I blame Senator Warren. Senator Warren, I think, must be the biggest hypocrite in the history of American politics. Is second only to Mr. and Mrs. Clinton. And to see Senator Warren, who gets huge amounts of money, $10,000 an hour for teaching at Harvard, $10,000 an hour for teaching at Harvard, money paid for by the corporate stocks in Harvard's portfolio, and then to hear her blasting the corporation is just astounding.
Yep, you can't make it up. I do want to go to Bill Clinton again for a moment here as well. Earlier today, he was making a speech for his wife, of course, campaigning somewhere, and he said he's never felt as sorry for anyone as he felt yesterday watching Melania Trump give a speech talking about cyberbullying, considering what he says her husband has done. Now, I mean, to me, that is nothing but chutzpah. How could he say that? What about, did he not feel sorry for his wife and his family when he did what he did?
I don't think anyone in the public life of the whole world has been as humiliated by a spouse as Mrs. Clinton was by Bill Clinton. I mean, I give him full marks. He's a manly, virile man. He wants to have lots of girlfriends. I mean, that's what, according to Mr. Trump, that's what manly men do. But to then humiliate your wife, shame her, and then say, I feel sorry for Melania Trump because she said words against bullying, that's incredible. It's absolutely unbelievable. I mean, the nerve of this guy is beyond belief. It's just absolutely incredible.
It is. It is. All right, I'm glad you got that out there. Now, let me ask you this. We are, what, 3 days away, 4 days away from the election actually happening, Ben. I can't believe it, man. We've talked about this.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Well, what is the question to you though is what is going to happen?
Well, I'm sorry to say this, but I assume that Mrs. Clinton is going to win, and I assume she's going to win because she will win by the suburban voters outside Philadelphia. That'll be what pushes her over the top. But why that is, I don't understand. And no one has ever been more of an anti-woman campaigner than Mrs. Clinton. No one has ever done more to shame, humiliate, bully, intimidate women, than Hillary Clinton, protecting her husband. Okay, I give her credit for that. We want wives to protect their husbands. But did she have to threaten them? Did she have to use the force of law in the state of Arkansas to threaten people, to have her minions go up to women who are accusing Clinton and Bill Clinton and say, we know where your children go to school, we know their names, they're sweet children, we don't want anything to happen to them? Did she really have to do that? I mean, that's so anti-woman, it's unbelievable. I mean, my wife, a full-scale woman, it cries when she thinks of Mrs. Clinton and her behavior towards women.
And okay, so you think Pennsylvania goes obviously to Hillary?
I think it does, and you know the tragedy here is cycle after cycle, the Republicans think maybe somehow we'll pull off Pennsylvania, and they almost never do, and almost always is decisive. And in this case, it's a true heartache and a heartbreak that it is, because Pennsylvania is a big coal mining state. Mrs. Clinton has promised in blood that she's going to put all these people out of business and put them on welfare. Why would Pennsylvania elect her? And why would those suburban women in Philadelphia presumably don't want their husbands going around committing rapes and then having the wives exculpating them? Why would they be voting for Clinton? I don't understand it.
Let me ask. Well, let me ask you about you know, as a speechwriter for Richard Nixon, what are we going to be going through if Hillary Clinton becomes president? Whether she is pardoned or not pardoned, the investigations, the impeachment proceedings possibly. What do you think is going to happen if Hillary wins the presidency as far as a constitutional crisis possibly?
Well, I think if the Democrats take both houses of Congress, there will be no constitutional crisis. If the Republicans retain either the House or the Senate or both, then there will be a constitutional crisis, because somebody along the line is going to say, look, she's got to be indicted. And the Obama, before the inauguration, will pardon her. And the country is going to be torn to shreds once again. I mean, the country is, Mr. Clinton, I want to give him credit. When he was president, he was a unifier. He really was. He really tried to unify. I think he was, in many ways, when he was president, a great man. But Mrs. Clinton, no. Mrs. Clinton likes to fight.
Well, she will get one and have one, certainly, if she should win. Ben, it's always great to talk to you. It's an honor, sir. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Ben Stein, ladies and gentlemen. And up next, you're not going to want to miss this, J. Christian Adams, former Department of Justice attorney who has torn that current Obama Justice Department apart with the truth. And he'll do more of it. Do not go away.